Hey coaches, Ashley here from CoachRx. In this week's AMA, James Fitzgerald covers the Express, Recover, Adapt framework. And during this in this AMA, he explains why some clients work incredibly hard yet still struggle to make meaningful progress. So the issue isn't necessarily their effort, but it's that they're missing one or more phases of the cycle that drives all sustainable fitness progress. So James broke this down beautifully. He was telling us that express means clients demonstrate movements with quality and intention, not just completion. Recover means that their body systems restore and prepare for genuine adaptation. And then adapt means real improvement occurs, creating the foundation for future progression. So when any phase is compromised, the entire cycle breaks down. Clients who rush through movements teach their bodies to compensate and not necessarily improve. And those who skip recovery return to sessions in a compromised state. So without proper adaptation, all that hard work just creates fatigue without progress. So in this week's challenge, I want you to select a client who is genuinely showing up, working hard, but just seems to be stuck, and implement this complete cycle tracking inside CoachRx. So I want to show you how you can set up this framework, the Express, Recover, and Adapt framework directly inside CoachRx. All right, now that we're inside CoachRx, let me show you how you can utilize the Express, Adapt, Recover framework inside CoachRx and what 3 features I would recommend. So for Express, we want to look at movement quality, not just completion. We want to look at actual movement quality. So I would recommend having clients, if you are not there in person with them, observing movement quality, have them upload a video directly into CoachRx so that then you can view this video and provide feedback to their movement quality. So maybe you're noticing that they are not hitting the tempo that you're prescribing. Maybe they're rushing through, maybe they're cutting reps short. So this just will give you good insight and be able to view exactly what they're doing and their movement quality for each move or the moves that you're specifically asking for feedback for. So this is what I would ask for Express. Now, to look at Adapt, I want to track, or I guess let's go to Recover first. I want to check out, so we have Express, Recover, Adapt. So when I'm looking at Recover, I want to create a check-in template that is going to ask more than just, hey, how do you feel? We want to dive into questions about their sleep quality, their stress levels, energy upon waking, and motivation for training. So when we get into a client's calendar, we can set up weekly check-ins from the consultations tab. So this is where you can turn on weekly check-ins. This is also where you can choose which template you want to use. So maybe you have a default template that you use for everybody. And then maybe you have some clients who you're asking a little bit more detail about energy levels before and after training, diving into a little bit more specific questions. So in this index section, under weekly check-in templates is where you can create these templates. And so when we're looking at recovery in this Express, Recover, Adapt framework, you really want to identify indicators on if this client is truly recovering or just surviving between sessions. So utilize the weekly check-in templates to really help understand if your clients are recovering. Now let's move into Adapt. So when I'm looking at the Adapt phase, I want to document genuine improvement. So this is where our metrics feature will come in. This is where you could create specific metric groups based on client goals, or maybe you have a specific type of client that you work with. Maybe it's youth development athletes and you're tracking specific metrics for their sport, but you can create different metric groups. This can be done from the index section as well. So under metrics, we can add metric group and create these metrics based on whatever you're trying to track. But then what I can do is get into this client's metrics And now I can view adaptation over time. So if we're looking at, let's say, the back squat, we can look at trends and track this over time, and then see if there's any relationship between any of the phases. So are we seeing that they're expressing movement well? They're adapting and they're recovering well. So maybe they are adapting well, and we're starting to see these metrics trend up. Or maybe we're starting to see these metrics trend down, and maybe recovery is suffering. So maybe we're finding out that one phase of this framework is suffering, which is causing another phase of this framework to suffer. So just note that these three features are what I would recommend to use James's Express, Recover, Adapt framework inside CoachRx. Pick a client, implement this complete cycle tracking this week with them. You'll likely discover that their plateau isn't necessarily about your programming, and it might just be about missing phases of the fundamental cycle that is going to create lasting progress. So check out James's complete explanation of the Express, Recover, Adapt cycle, and start your CoachRx trial today if you haven't, and test out these features and see how it helps you with your systematic implementation of this framework for both practical and effective use. So let us know if you have any questions.